Hello and welcome to the Open Book channel, where I talk about anything and everything writerly, very, very honestly. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about hustle culture and toxic productivity, something which all small creators fall victim to at some point in their pursuit of a self-made career. Recently, I watched a video by BookslikeWhoa on the aesthetic of success, and she talked about how our hustle culture has developed an odd phenomenon in which the image of hard work is more important than actual work. That celebrities who are well off enough that they don't need to work to survive still feel a need to present an image of themselves as continuously earning their wealth rather than simply having it, aka hustling. I'm going to give my 2 cents on this hustle mentality as a small creator, but I'd recommend going and checking out BookslikeWhoa's channel for her contextualized look at the lazy bourgeois class of the earlier eras to that of today's work until you die millionaires. Now, I understand why wealthy people that don't need to hustle still present themselves as hustling, and why they project that lifestyle motto to anyone that dares to ask, "How did you find your success?" And it's because it creates a sense of worth, that everything that they have was earned. Just look at the recently skyrocketing dissection of Nepo babies. Descendants of the wealthy are looked down upon and heavily criticized by the masses for having things given to them. It's a juicy hobby of social media to latch on to oblivious rich kids, scrutinize, and tear them apart because, well, that's just what humans do. We're all part of a hierarchy, and when we're looking up at those above us, we want to know why they're above us, how they're above us. And when we find someone ignorant or immoral, someone lazy that didn't earn their position, above our own, it's easy to latch onto those flaws to make ourselves feel better, to discredit their worth despite their place of higher privilege than us. We hate the wealthy because it's easier to do that than to hate ourselves for being poor or lower caste. But a society that presents hustling as the only way to acquire wealth, or the main way of acquiring wealth, puts the fault on the poor's lack of success entirely on their own shoulders. It's not about the wealthy being given favorable circumstances, it's about the poor just not trying hard enough. Hustle culture, as pitched by the wealthy, is a perfect solution to prevent those at the top of society from being discredited, and from us hungry, bitter little things at the bottom hating them, because being wealthy through luck of the draw isn't an answer we're willing to accept, but hustling is. And having a hard work ethic seems harmless, and an overall good thing, right? Even if, in a lot of cases, we're exposed to it through media is a facade, doesn't mean that the underlying concept is bad, right? Well, not so much. Because we've defaulted to hustle culture as an answer to why our society looks the way that it does, it glosses over the nuances and leaves those in the most vulnerable positions at fault for their own misfortune, which is sometimes the case, but more often than not, they've been placed there by circumstance just as much as those at the top have. And when we tell people who want more out of life but physically cannot attain more through the current means available to them, that they're just not working hard enough, that can become very toxic very quickly. Books like Woe talks about how the way we've shaped our society around hustle culture has affected her in her video, and it really made me take a step back and realize how much I'd also fallen into the idea of presenting productivity. Because when it comes to social media, looking busy is as important, if not more important, than actual productivity. You gotta fake it till you make it, literally. Because if you don't look like you're trying your hardest at everything that you do, then your worth upon earning it is compromised. If people don't see you struggle to get what you have, it doesn't count somehow. Oh, you haven't written in a week? No wonder you'll never finish your book. Every little thing that you don't do becomes a strike against you, so we've begun presenting ourselves as perfectly trying, always hustling. Struggling has become an art form of mediating pity and admiration. And ultimately, this structure holds us against the world, judging us and tells us what we deserve based on the image that we create. This constant nagging need to show people your hustle to validate your existence has affected me too, and I'm not even a big creator. I'm a nobody. Nobody is looking at me, pointing a finger, or telling me I'll never be a good writer because I'm just not trying hard enough yet. But I am. I'm telling myself that. This hustle culture is becoming ingrained in all of us. Watching BookslikeWhoa's video on the aesthetic of success made me step back and realize just how much I was presenting productivity. Before I switched to Ko-fi, I had a Patreon with like literally one patron who was my friend. They liked my content when I posted it, but they weren't on a tier that demanded anything specific from me. They were just there to support me. But I was, for whatever reason, compelled to post calendar shots of every little thing that I'd done that month. Why? Well, so I looked busy. So I could validate their support when I had nothing physical to show for it yet. Because unfortunately, that's how being a writer works. And I felt like I had to present my productivity to earn their investment. And isn't that a little messed up? That we have this idea now that we need to present ourselves striving for success so that when we get it, we're allowed to be considered as having earned it. Our work should speak for itself, but we've fallen into this mind game of valuing the struggle almost more than the product. Because then we get empathy, we get hype, we get validation for something that we haven't even achieved yet. Because, God, we probably never will at this rate, focusing on everything except actually working. Hustling is a lie. It's a show. It's not actually hard work. If you're working hard, you don't have time to tell everyone about it. And definitely not prioritizing posting your every step of the way to the world just to get head pats. Calling myself out there. If you're investing in working as hard as you can, you don't really even care about the validation. It's nice, of course, but it shouldn't be your driving factor. The genuine success should be. Nowadays, I post reminders that I made videos for YouTube on my Ko-fi like over a month late sometimes because I just can't keep up with it. I'm actually busy now, and it feels so much better than just looking busy. I think we're caught in hustle culture even as nobodies and small creators because we're all actually scared. We want achieving our goals to be possible. We want to believe in the idea that we just have to keep working hard and we'll somehow make it. But that's also so unlikely. We simultaneously have to throw ourselves into presenting our productivity so we don't hate ourselves when we don't succeed. So we can tell ourselves it wasn't really our fault and we did try our best, but somehow didn't succeed. Because if we don't present ourselves as continuously working towards our goal with every waking breath, hustle culture will just point at us and say, "See, you didn't work hard enough." And that's why you'll never achieve your goals. Sucks to suck and suck it up. But obviously, the truth is, life is hard. Circumstances are different for everyone. One person's road to any given goal will be drastically different than another's, and it's harmful to pretend that every person is capable of getting anywhere that they want. I'm not trying to be pessimistic. I just think that we need to be realistic or we actually end up hurting ourselves. I've expected too much of myself before, and it's made me so upset. Over the last couple years, when I was releasing the Bleeding Heart series, I had to keep pushing back my memoir's publishing date because I couldn't find time to edit until I was happy with it, and that's not my fault because I'm tired and I'm working. But because I'm supposed to be hustling every second of every day, it just made me angry with myself for not having the memoir out. The conditions were no longer a focus. They became irrelevant in the grand scheme of why don't you have the memoir out yet? I felt like I was failing because everyone around me was already published. But again, that's holding me up to everyone else rather than to myself. And that's what hustle culture does. Hustle culture doesn't just put the fault of everything that we want out of life on our shoulders, it puts us on the same playing field as those that are already above us, because presumably, the only currency that matters for success is our individual drive against the odds. And that's just not true. I guess what I'm trying to say is be aware of the expectations society is setting for you, and don't hold yourself to the standards that other people make up. You don't have to utterly exhaust yourself just to earn the right to say you tried your best. Be your mediocre self. Try a little less if it means that you won't run yourself into the ground. Because what good is achieving your goal if you're too miserable from the journey to enjoy it? And that's exactly what happened to me. When I published my memoirs, I was just done and miserable and unhappy because I pushed myself through the entire process of making them, and then I didn't care anymore. Like, yes, I accomplished that goal, but what did that goal mean to me at that point anymore, you know? Anyway, that's just my 2 cents. Let me know in the comments below whether you've fallen into presenting your productivity before. I'm sure that a lot of us have and haven't even realized it. Like, when I was posting calendar shots of my month, I didn't know why I was doing it at the time, but I also felt so bad, like I needed an excuse, and to prove that I was trying, it just made sense to me. And after watching BookslikeWhoa's video, it made a lot more sense to me. Again, please go check out her awesome video. It'll be linked in the description below. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to support me and this channel, you can find a link to my Ko-fi in the description below. I promise there won't be calendar updates on my feed. A special thank you to all the current open book supporters. You're the best, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.